Get ready. DawgHouse is about to kick off.
Take 3.
Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of the DawgHouse. Here in the vast wasteland of YouTube, where apparently nobody can find us.
Or they found us and they just don't care.
Yeah, apparently not.
I prefer the first.
That they can't find us?
They can't find us.
Or maybe we're just too, we had this discussion before we went video. Maybe we're too ugly for video.
We could be.
That could be very true.
We could
totally
be.
legit.
The face for radio thing has always been a true statement.
I told you months and months ago that we should get 3 hot chicks and have them just move their mouths and we'll talk in the background.
Yeah, and then I brought in a hot chick that all she wanted to do was move her mouth and play with her boobs, and you yelled at me. So
that is true. That is very true.
So,
that is true, but
you know what? You're in charge of the hot chicks from now on.
Wait a minute. The hot chick that you brought in, there's no way she could have moved her lips in coordination with our words.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
She had big boobs. Doesn't matter.
That was the point. Well, we needed 3 more of her to make up for us. So,
amen.
By the way, we were on the camera too.
Yeah, well, we got to get rid of us off the camera.
Exactly.
Now we go into the other room, and the 3 hot chicks
well,
sit
no,
here
what
and
we
talk
should
about
do is put them down in the living room and videotape it, and us do the show.
Right.
And just let them be down in the entrance room to the studio building there.
I kind of like the idea that we do like a Muppets thing.
And put my hand up their
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I was actually thinking more along their backs, but that's okay, Phil. You put your hand wherever you want to put it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. That means a lot to me that you trust me like that.
It ain't me trusting you.
Somebody actually asked me today, they're like, why do you do that show? And I was like, I don't have a good reason, but I'm going to track them down and be like, this is why.
This is why.
Because
that's right.
Ken gave me permission to do bad things.
Yeah, so, anyway, but Phil and me are getting ready to hit the road. Road trip tomorrow.
Can I already bitch about that? Is it too early to bitch?
I know. It's the opening segment. This is when you should be bitching, not during my news.
Okay. So in case you haven't been following on Facebook, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff, Ken has had a little accident. Apparently he can't walk.
Very well. Well,
no, I mean, he literally got up in the middle of the night and destroyed his foot.
Just a toe. One toe.
Whatever. So he's been complaining, wah. And he was like, I was like, well, get a golf cart at Barbara. He's like, I'll do that. And then he's like, oh, my God, it's a lot of money. So I'm like, shoot the lock off your wallet. So he's like, yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. I got to interrupt. If you shoot the lock off my wallet, moths fly out.
Well, that's what he said to me. He's like, yeah, that's dangerous. You don't know what's in there, and it ain't cash.
Mothra is going to come out, and Godzilla will have to come fight him.
I said, okay, right? So, we started brainstorming of other things to do. One was to cut off his leg and, little things like that. And he came to I'll rent a wheelchair.
And you'll get to push him around?
And I get to push him around. So he started asking.
You'll be driving Miss Daisy?
Pretty much. So nobody was responding. Nobody had one. He found a place, and the place wanted you to rent it for like 6 months. It was like $1 bazillion.
Well, they did want you to rent it for an extended period of time. That is true.
Right. So we were like, screw that and everything. So
Craigslist. Right.
I went to Craigslist, and I started pulling up these things about buying, finding used wheelchairs. Right. So I found these ones, and it was like $100 for one, $50 right here in Manassas, where the studio wasteland is. Mm-hmm. Right. And I looked through all these things, and I send Ken all these links, and I click on all these things to go to these things. And Ken goes, oh, my in-laws have one. I'm just going to borrow theirs.
As you've done all that work.
It's not the work that I care about, because it really wasn't that hard, and I was sitting there anyways, and it was probably better than me looking at porn.
Probably not.
Probably not. But what the problem is now all my Google ads on every time I go to any webpage on my freaking computer are wheelchair things and like old people stuff that I don't want to deal with. It's like, oh, Metamucil, Jerry, I almost said Jerry Curl stuff, not that. What was it?
Yeah, you don't need Jerry Curl. Phil, you can
Depends.
get visitors at half price.
Right. It's like, get Depends, get this. And I'm like, what the the hell? And of course, right? I'm sitting there and I'm going,
wait. First of all, Depends ads are appropriate for you, Phil. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as you wear them around the back. Okay,
backwards.
you wear 'em backwards.
But it was just like now, like I'm horrified. I don't even want to go on social media because all my, it's like we found this ad for you. No, that's for Ken. And and I keep emailing Google, and I'm like, that wasn't for me. I searched for Ken.
I ain't getting those ads. I don't know what the problem is.
I hate you.
I don't have any problem with that. Yeah, actually, I was looking for a place where I could rent a wheelchair down in Birmingham, and I did find a bunch of places that do that, but it's ridiculous that they, number one, they're charging like $30 a day.
Just go to Walmart.
And then they have
20 minutes before you pull out of town.
get one of those little motorized little rascals.
And then when you get back, just take it back.
You
and
didn't
drop it
only
off.
think about it. You said if I still had that ramp here.
That's right. That's exactly.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, Walmart one. You'd had the basket. You could have carried around all the stuff.
And I could see Phil going back in after loading on his truck. Excuse me, do you have a charger for that? For that rascal I just stole?
Yeah, I went just like that, but I don't have a charger.
Right.
You have an extra? Son of a.
So, anyways, I didn't say that. What happened was I was told. I didn't even realize that my mother-in-law had a wheelchair. I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Does it have a basket on it?
I don't know.
It will by the time
I don't know. It could be pink and have little flowers
Oh
on
my
it.
God, that would be. Oh,
so...
we're gonna have so much fun at Barber.
I have no
Hey,
idea.
if
I have
you're
no
in the
idea.
Barber area, follow us on Twitter, DawgHouse Radio or Shift Point Mag, and we're probably gonna do like a meetup. And I was thinking,
No, I think we're going to do a sweat up.
a sweat up. Yeah, we're gonna do a sweat up. You can bring us water and watermelon and cold stuff. And I was thinking maybe Thursday night we'll go to that bike night. MotoAmerica just put on their website a whole bunch of like fan activity things that are going on in around Birmingham for the race of the weekend and stuff like that. So go and
You have to get a rascal now, so you can roll up to bike night on the rascal.
no, I'm gonna totally roll
I have
you.
no
into
way
bike
to get a
night.
rascal. I'm sorry. I'll have to.
I have
to defer to the show thief. I'm sorry.
hey, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I actually have one of those motorized wheelchairs up in New York.
Ask him why.
No, don't ask him why.
Don't ask him
No,
why.
'cause that's how people get punched in the studio.
Yeah.
But there was
Apparently, I'm not
Is it like the
only
Stephen
person.
Hawkins model?
It could actually be Stephen.
that's how
Hawkins'
people get
mom.
punched in the studio. So anyways, but we're thinking about doing something like that. So if you're in the area, follow us on Twitter. Say, hey, I'm down there, and we'll meet up, or maybe we'll swing by wherever you are during the race.
That's
during the races.
DWAG-house.
Yes, all the listeners, unlike Warren, know how. No, yes, it's DawgHouse.
RADIO. One word.
RADIO.
DawgHouse-
You said
Radio.
that. RADIO.
Or you
jingle.
can hit us up on Facebook, and we'll be checking our Facebook. So
My Facebook got deleted. F you, Facebook. I thank you. I forgot my other rant of the
There
day.
you go.
F you, Facebook.
Are you part of the LGBT transgender that you can't use your real name anymore? That's what all that started.
No, that's not where this all started.
His
You have
Facebook
to use your
thing.
real name.
His Facebook thing.
That's always been the rules, and
It-
Facebook's cracking down on
his
that.
Facebook name was his Facebook ID was Phil Shiftpoint.
Right, because it was
Right.
easier, and I don't want you people knowing my real information
Right.
and my family and
Right,
stuff.
and I don't blame you.
Because I don't trust you people.
Right.
Allegedly.
So
No, that's the truth.
So they didn't like that because they didn't believe that was a real last name.
So then they asked for
Wonder why.
documentations. Of course, we forged some.
Yeah, right.
And they were like, yeah, those are forgeries.
So
I forged better
Now,
stuff,
you
so
shoulda
it's going
went,
on.
You should have went next door or
the
down
pizza
the
place?
street to.
Well, what I don't understand is how an illegal alien can have next door at the pizza place and a homeless guy who lives in a Volvo station wagon.
has better
Facebook.
forged documents than
I
you.
better face right. So I went over and I saw them this morning. Got better forged documents because that's how you do it in America.
there you go.
How about the dog? Chuck Downey.
Chuck down. No, don't do that because some jerk must have reported me. Because there's only like 5 people on my Facebook account that actually use your real names.
That's right.
I mean, you'd think Perizzle is the last name?
Or
Chad Dukes?
or DawgHouse Pack.
Rocky
That's a real
Paris?
name.
Dog.
I don't
Some
care.
jerk's gonna
Come after us.
come after. You know what? I don't
We
care.
dare you.
I don't care anymore. Ken, I have some really great news to tell you during the break that I cannot discuss on the air.
Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what. Then that's probably a good sign that we should go to a break right now. So
let's go to a break.
We'll do that. We'll do that. When we come back, I got some news that I'm going to do, depending
Am I
on
done
what Phil
ranting?
tells me during the break.
Am I done ranting?
Are you doing ranting?
Am I done ranting?
I don't know. Are you?
We're never
I'm not
done
hearing any
ranting.
music.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah, it's playing.
It's you, Phil. It's you. All right, folks. So, like I said, news coming on the other side, and we are going to talk about racing. We had racing in Portimao in World Superbike, so we're going to do that. So stick around, folks. A lot more coming your way. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the DawgHouse. And before we get ourselves in any more trouble, I think I'm going to kick off and do some news, if that's okay, Phil, unless you have more offending you need to do.
Yeah, I need to scream about buying headsets at the Dollar Tree.
Oh, that's right.
Because only half of them work now. They lasted longer than I thought, like 2 months.
We'll go back and give 50 cents.
If they last 2 weeks, you got your money's worth, right?
That's what I thought. So
Yeah, here
to
I
the
am
Dollar Tree I go.
sitting with a set of earbuds that I bought that I spent way too much money on, but they really were worth it.
Yeah,
They're good.
I'm not rich like you and Dirk.
Yeah,
Dirk.
right. Rich like me.
Dirk has got like $900,000.
Yeah, Dirk on the
You're
Dirk.
going to want to hear about my latest purchase.
Oh God! All right, you know what? Do your news, Ken, because
I didn't even know Delaware was for sale. Okay.
He's like, by the way, I bought Saipan.
Yeah,
What?
that's right. So, there's we've done a number of stories in the past about politicians,
Motorcycles.
especially. No, I've done a couple of those, but stories about politicians that are motorcycle riders and motorcycle advocates.
Yeah, we even had,
had
Randy
some on the show.
Congressman Randy Forbes on.
Right.
We've talked about Alan West is a big motorcycle
Yep.
rider.
That would be ex-Congressman Alan West.
Ex-Congressman Alan West.
Right.
Sensenbrenner.
And I was thinking,
Yeah,
there's a couple.
I can't think of the guy in Montana.
couple
Remember we
notable
had those
ones.
guys
Yeah, well,
on around that AMA thing.
Couple notable guys, and actually specifically governors that I thought of.
Oh, okay.
John Huntsman, who ran for president, you remember, sort of, kind of ran for president.
Right.
Joe Manchin from West Virginia.
He's a big Harley rider, and Mitch Daniels, remember Mitch Daniels, governor of Indiana, ex-governor of Indiana,
Didn't know
very
he
big
rode.
motorcycle. Oh yeah, very big motorcycle advocate, big Harley guy. Those are the two guys that I think of as governors. But we've never had a real motorcycle riding president. But you know what? 2016 could be the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Hillary?
Yeah, I was thinking only back. No, we haven't had any really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hillary doesn't ride.
Hillary, she got the first part of on bikes, right? No?
Right. And
Oh, hey, that's how we get into the hate mail
and
again.
so some of my favorite stories have to do with dykes on bikes. Anyway,
Yeah.
on Saturday, this past Saturday, several Republican presidential contenders actually were out kind of trying to get support from the motorcycle riding communities because they're motorcycle riders.
Really?
And they were working to get an edge amongst motorcycle riders, puppies, war heroes, and they did that all with a little bit of roast pork on the side. Which is
What is wrong with that?
what's not to like them. I'm already ready to vote.
Yeah, I'm all in. Was the roast pork free for the people that saw them?
I imagine it was. I'm sure it was paid for by the by
Different
the candidates.
campaigns.
Yeah, by the
Yeah,
campaigns.
you can buy my votes for sale.
Absolutely.
A couple pounds of bacon, some pork sandwiches,
Some barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah, I'm pretty much for sale.
So
So who was this?
well, this was it was actually in Iowa, and it was actually for a charity event that was run by somebody that I didn't know was a big motorcyclist. Although I did actually went back and saw that I did see that she had Joni Ernst. Yeah, Joni Ernst. She's a
Senator
war
or
veteran.
congressman. I can't remember which one.
She's a
Woman,
senator,
obviously.
I
A
believe.
senator?
Yeah, she's a senator. I
Senator
believe.
Ernst, yeah,
I'll get to that lower. That's farther down the story. She was it was her event that she had. Now I knew one of them. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, I know, is a big Harley rider, and I knew that from several events. He's done a bunch of events, I know,
Right.
himself. I didn't realize that Texas Governor Rick Perry was a big Harley guy.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah, big guy. Apparently,
Doesn't really surprise me though, because he was an Air Force
doesn't-
pilot.
He's
He's a bunch of other
was he an
things.
Air Force pilot or a reserve pilot or Air Force reserve?
They still
pilot?
fly.
Well, yeah, I know.
They're still a pilot.
Yeah, I know, but it's a little bit different. Right? If you fly a weekend a month, it's not like
Well, they It's not quite worked
and
that
2
way,
weekends
but yeah.
and 2 weeks a year.
2 weeks. That's right.
I'm not being hateful. I just thought that
we
was
should
funny. I
probably
love
leave
old
this alone.
commercials.
So they actually there was a presidential forum. They each governor led separate rides, and they all met together at one place. They had many military veterans with them, and there were some other Republican contenders that also showed up there to chat, but didn't ride any bikes because they're not bike people. So it's like already those two guys already get
That's
a
what
little
the
hands up.
sidecar's for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to be seen in a sidecar.
You know what? I will never pick on people who ride on the sidecar because Isle of Man's going on right now, and them are some bad dudes in the sidecar.
they
Oh,
are.
yeah.
They
Did you
are.
see that post I put up on
Yeah,
Facebook? That
yeah.
was unbelievable.
I can't. I'm not making fun of anybody who rides in a sidecar. Nope. Because them dudes is crazy enough to
Yeah,
like,
but
come to
you
your
know,
house,
the sidecars
wear your skin.
sidecar racing isn't like riding in a sidecar. They don't ride in anything.
Yeah, they just kind of fly around out the back.
That's right. That's right.
Why
But
they
still,
call, that's why they call them
still,
monkeys.
I'm not
right,
taking
exactly.
it.
That's why they call them monkeys. Here's a quote. Perry said, what a great day morning it was out riding on his Harley in the heartland of America. He said, that's what America is all about.
I ain't
Living
never seen this
freedom,
country forward.
Riding free.
Ride free.
I don't know if he said it that way. Then he said, oops.
Oops.
Perry raised money for the Puppy Jake Foundation, which is an Iowa-based group that trains service dogs for wounded veterans. So
That's a
very good cause. Walker rode in wearing a black Born to Ride T-shirt. Said, "You quote, you got to have fun on campaigns, or would-be campaigns along the way." And like I said, Walker's hosted dozens of rides since he's been governor. I mean, it's pretty important to him. Besides having a lot of fun, the candidates who attended gained a lot of valuable and unscripted opportunity to connect with voters.
I like it. I think it's a great concept.
Yeah, I mean, the event was dubbed the Roast and Ride by its host, who is freshman Republican Senator Joni Ernst, who was an Iraq War vet and Harley rider herself, and she rode as well this weekend.
I mean, that's cool.
Now, the event served as the prime political gathering with the Iowa State straw poll, which has lost a lot of steam recently. It's not, garnering a lot of candidates are saying they're not even going to attend this year. And the annual steak fry that the Democrats used to have has been replaced with a stop at Starbucks so they can pop the hoods on their Priuses together. So,
or I was going to say on their Vespas.
yeah, so don't you guys think it's about time we hit someone in the White House who just doesn't play golf, route a mic?
Right, I'd much rather
Well, see, that'd be a
5
problem.
days a week them going out on a motorcycle ride than playing golf.
I really think they should.
If I was ever elected president, I can't play golf because my shoulder's so screwed up.
Yeah.
I can shoot, so I guess I could go to Camp David, but I think all they do there is shotgun, and I'd rather shoot rifles and pistols.
I think you could probably do. I think
I
they
could
probably
probably
make an
make it
accommodation
swing.
for you.
But I enjoy riding, so if I was elected president, they're not going to let me ride while I'm president.
Oh, I think they would. I absolutely.
Maybe at
You'd
special
probably
events.
get to lead like cool events. Like,
Yeah, and be right front for the
imagine
snipers.
being a sitting president and going to Sturgis.
Oh, my, that would be awesome.
Right? I mean, they
if you-
close down Main Street Sturgis. You roll in there like a big dog. You make all the Secret Service ride bikes too.
You
Mad Max it up.
you wouldn't have to make them. I could tell you right now that I guarantee you there's already a group of people in the Secret Service right now who would love it because the Secret Service would have to immediately go out and buy bikes.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They would.
Yeah.
Because he would ride in a group of bikes with Secret Service guys all around him.
I just don't
There's
think
no way
I just
they
don't
would
think
stop
they
it.
would let him do it because
They can't not let him. He is the president of the United States, or she. God forbid.
I don't.
Send that hate mail to Ken at ntnradio.com.
Well, I kind of like
Jody Ernest, if she became president, she would
she's
be
not
able to
running,
ride.
but I like Carly Fiorina too. So
Does she ride?
no, but I could be forgiven if she got on. I mean, she could ride. I mean, anybody can ride just because they don't ride right now. We should make it mandatory. You have to, get your M endorsement if you're president.
Yeah,
That
You'll
works
see,
for me.
you'll see the world in a different way. I truly believe that.
yeah. I mean, I just think it would be
Even
cool.
for the two-up position.
There's no way they could tell. Let's say Perry gets elected president. Okay, let's just say that.
Where's our bum bum bum?
Right, he gets elected president. There's no way the Secret Service saying, "I'm sorry, Mr. President, you can't ride." It's like I'd be
like, damn right I can't. No,
Yeah, it's gonna be like I'm gonna ride. Deal with it. They're not going to tell the president he can't ride, so they're going to
Yeah,
be...
I watch House of Cards. That's totally how it goes
exactly
down.
the way it works.
He's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to ride, deal with it.
Well, I've actually seen on House of Cards, they actually told him he can't do something, he said he could do something.
Yeah,
Remember when he went to the desert?
When he had that guy.
When he went to the desert
right?
in Israel. When we went to the desert in Israel.
I thought when he banged that guy. Somebody told me he shouldn't have done that.
Why'd you have to remind me of that?
Because I wanted to ruin it for you.
Thanks.
No problem. But yeah, no, I think it would be awesome that the sitting president rode and stuff. Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
Yes, it would give whole credence to the sitting president part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the only president, I was just thinking all the way back through the modern era, the only one I think of that would have possibly been doing it was Roosevelt.
Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rode on a horse. He used to go out and ride horses.
Yeah, and that was
he did that when he was in the White House.
He was also the first one to ride in an airplane, the first president to ride in a submarine, the first one to leave the United States while he was president. He had all kinds of firsts.
Yeah.
So he might have been the first one to ride a motorcycle, but I don't know if that's be true or not.
I have to look that up.
I think, was he the first one that had a presidential limousine? I believe so.
I think he
was.
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was.
But,
okay. Well, anyway.
I think that's really cool. I would like to see.
I think it's cool, and this is the first year where we've had, and the only one that ran the last time around, and it wasn't for very long, was Mitch Daniels.
So since they ride, we should be petitioning their campaign to come on the DawgHouse. We have never, ever had a presidential candidate.
That's a brilliant idea.
Durka, start throwing money towards their campaigns.
That's right. Start donating money.
We're donating your bed to whichever one will come on.
I think
don't like the way that sounded, but okay.
I think of the people there, probably Walker's got the best chance of that happening, but
yeah.
What are we going to do?
There's a better chance of me being president.
I think probably what we're going to do is we're going to take a break now.
We probably need to because we insulted a lot of people in the last two segments.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say we. I'd say you.
Yes, and my name is Warren, and that's Warren at mtnradio.com.
When we come back, I got a story that I'm going to do that I think is huge news. It's not something we haven't mentioned before, but actually what happened over in the Isle of Man is that I think was the really, really big news, besides the fact that some people don't really care about their contracts who are riders, but we'll save that for another day, is actually what one American manufacturer managed to do over at Isle of Man. It's pretty impressive. So we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is the DawgHouse. Stick around. Hey, folks. Welcome back to the DawgHouse. As I mentioned, there was some big news this week that came out of Isle of Man. And it's not the kind of news that most people expect. Although I am counting on, I'm hoping.
They're changing
another potato famine.
They're changing the name from Isle Man to Isle Woman.
A potato famine?
Oh God, I'm in a room.
Vodka?
I'm in a room full of idiots. No.
Ken before the show
discovered that just now.
Yeah.
Before the show, Ken had on actually a shirt that said, "How can I soar with the eagles when I'm surrounded by turkeys?"
There you go. So, wow.
You lost your whole chain of thought.
Isle of Man.
I don't. Yeah, no, I know Isle of Man. So anyway, we did a story about a month ago. I want to say about Victory Motorcycles was going to be, I guess unveiling is probably the right term, but I don't know, an electric bike that they were actually going to enter in Isle of Man. And they had two very experienced racers who were going to actually take the bike out on the Isle of Man. And they actually did do that. They successfully ran two different electric bikes in their first practice ahead of the actual Isle of Man TT0 race this week. Mm-hmm. 6 electric motorcycle racers set out on the practice, but only 3 actually crossed the line.
Wow, that's only 50%. That is not a good rate.
That's not.
But 2 of the 3 were the Victory machines.
Oh, that's good. So
well,
they're
considering that there's a lot more
67%.
experience,
Go America.
Yeah,
America!
Go America. 2 out of 3 America. Yay!
America! Woo!
Getting both bikes back across the line and they managed to actually break the 100 mile per hour average lap time on their first attempt.
That's pretty good.
What do we have now here? We got Durka interrupting
I have
the
a
show.
post from Fantasy Island because I've been to this event.
Wait a minute, post from Fantasy
Island, like the plane bus,
tattoo, right? Yeah.
Okay, there's a post, and Durka, what's this website? WMUR. Is that a radio station up
Yes.
there, Durka?
That's the
Here.
news station.
That's the news station up there at Laconia.
Okay.
And they said 400,000 expected for Bike Week. You can't fit 20,000 in Laconia. Those people will still be in Boston, and the week will be over.
They didn't. And wait a minute. And so you had to interrupt my news story for that?
I just thought that was funny as hell. I've been to Laconia
Durka,
Bike Week.
You suck. Don't hand him things during the show. Okay. That's
400,000?
It's like a monkey discovering his nuts in the middle of the show. Okay, he's gonna play with them. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was funny.
We get big news about American manufacturer having
100-mile-an-hour laps.
66% of the motorcycles that finished the Isle of Man practice were American-made Victory electric
But if I
motorcycles.
say anything, then
And we're
that's
talking
like
about
I'm supporting
400,000
electric
people
motorcycles.
in
and I don't.
Laconia. Who cares?
I like burning fossil fuels.
Okay.
God didn't put dinosaurs on this earth to rot in the ground and be slippery spots in the ground.
Oh.
He made them so we can go fast and have loud noises.
Okay,
that's why you had dinosaurs.
I shouldn't be the one telling you that in order to make the electricity that runs on these bikes, you need to burn fossil fuel. Okay.
Okay, I'm happy again.
Yeah, there you go. You feel
Tell that
better?
to your president there.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
said your president, the one that you supported.
Yeah, that I support.
that you supported.
Yeah, I'm a big Obama supporter.
Yeah.
A big one. Actually, oh God, you're going to get me off course.
I'm getting you off
I got
course.
to get back on course because
All right.
I got to get this done.
Yeah, because we got a bunch of racing news of
racing to
important
talk
American
about.
stuff.
That's right. No, not when you talk racing news. Well, never mind. Okay, never mind. Let me move on.
So
But-
at last we heard that it was going 100 miles an hour to the Isle of Man.
Well, 100 miles an hour for an average speed may not seem like that's that big a deal, but on the Isle of Man, 100 miles an hour is a respectable speed. It's even more respectable when you realize that they were on electric bikes. That's pretty respectable. The racers that rode the bike were William Dunlop and Lee Johnston.
Have you ever seen that movie Road about the No, it wasn't. Was it? It was about the Dunlop family.
Yes, it was about the Dunlop.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good movie.
The average lap speed achieved were 104.185 and 105.185, respectively, for Dunlop and Johnston. Both riders also achieved 140 miles an hour through the Sulby speed trap.
Sulby speed trap. Nice.
140 miles per hour. I'm impressed that they did that.
That's booking.
And still had enough juice to finish the lap.
Yeah, then apparently they use a GVM Parker electric motor in the machine.
Really? They use one of those?
Yeah, a GVM. This means that the Victory is
They're
now
using the Parker.
only...
You do want to get punched in the face today.
Yes, he does.
If Ken could get up and walk, he'd hit you just. Pow!
Oh.
I was going to have
we need to put in the Batman.
Wait a minute, can I get my fist to
Pow.
leave my camera and come into his?
There you go. Oh, got him.
So they used the Parker motor, not the Kaplan motor.
That's exactly right. The GVM, gross vehicle men. Okay, that's the Victory Machine are now only the third electric bike team to ever ride over a 100 mile per hour average lap, and doing it on their first go round is amazingly impressive. I'm sure that there's some people in Milwaukee that aren't really being all that pleased right now, right?
Well, especially when they could have went out and bought Bramo just as well as Victory did.
Yeah, they're not smart. They're not smart like that. They go up and
if Bremo changed their name to Buell, Harley would have bought them.
well, no, if they would change their name to MV Agusta and charge $40 million or $400 million for it, or $2 billion for it, Harley would have bought it and then given it away, which is what they did with MV Agusta.
Yeah. God bless some people.
Dunlop completed his lap in 21 minutes 43 seconds, while Johnston was about 12 seconds faster crossing the line at 21:31. Team manager Brian Wiseman, who, not surprisingly, is also the head of Bramo product development.
Oh, surprise.
That's because he's a wise man.
Because he's a wise man. Said his first ever ride of the course Said this first ever ride of the course by Victory Racing follows a trouble-free week of testing at Derby. We were really pleased with our first lap of the course. Both riders executed clean laps to bring a pair of 100 mile per hour plus laps on our first attempt. The reliability of the bike has been very, very good for us at the TT with very few technical problems. I think this will continue to be a key to being able to translate practice results to race results when it counts. And if they win, I imagine there's going to be a lot of nasty words occurring in Milwaukee, like, why did we not step up and buy Bramo? So we can get all that technology rather than trying to create it from the beginning. Following the first TT0 practice session, William Dunlop and Lee Johnston were both in very high spirits. Both said the bikes were extremely stable and coped well with the lumps and bumps of the TT course, which there are plenty. They haven't been able to replicate that course without riding on that course, which of course you can't really do at any other time of year because they got to close down all the streets right on the island.
Well, you can ride it, but not at that speed.
Well, and that doesn't replicate it then. So they've been doing their testing.
I might have seen videos where you can,
yeah.
But okay.
Johnston said he climbed off the bike, and I'm sure that he must be British because I don't understand the term. He said that was just mint.
Oh no, he's from like New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
They say it's just
mint?
mint?
Yeah, because they're like, it's mint, man. It's mint. And that's why I want to punch people from there in the face right now.
Now, did the article say what the bikes that didn't make the...
I forgot Dirk is from New Hampshire. Dirk, do you say mint?
I'm telling
he does.
you. Did you say mint, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's mint. Yeah. Wicked.
Wow.
Wicked mint.
Wicked pissa.
Wicked awesome. Wicked pissa. Mint.
Wicked pissa.
Wicked pissa.
They say that in Maine, too.
Did it say which wicked bikes didn't make the laps?
No, but you can assume that at least one of them was a 0. And
well, yeah, obviously. It's not like that with 4 zeros.
Or maybe a lightning?
Perhaps, yeah. I would think so, because they did have one over there last year, I believe. So that's kind of what I would assume. There might have been 2 of them might have been 0s for all I know.
Sounds like a bunch of losers there.
Hey, anyway, he said a bunch of people were really excited that were watching from the sides of the streets there, and he joked that there were a load of people waving iPhones at me when I was out on the course. I wonder if they wanted me to recharge them. William Dunlop was equally happy with the bike, saying it was surprisingly good. He said it really was, and I'm not just saying that. It was good to just go out and not have to wrestle something with 200 horsepower around. I imagine that bike is, most of its weight's in the battery pack, which had it pretty good. So this is big news for a number of perspectives. One, it's clear that Victory's not fooling around. To field a bike using some combination of Bramo's technology and their own technology this quick to be able to do that for this year's Ironman TT is pretty impressive. It's not 100% Bramo.
Oh,
it's not 100% Bramo.
That's interesting.
No, it's not 100% Bramo. They built the chassis and some of the portions of the bike. That was in the early article that they were going to do that. I think most of the technology they used was the electronics-related technology, the charging,
the tires, the
management,
wheels.
The electronics and stuff like that.
The tires, the wheels, the stickers.
Yeah, I mean, the average speed of over 100 miles per hour on a street course is it's pretty respectable. It's not going to compete with a motorbike at this point, but in 5 years, as far as
they're going to slow down motorbikes?
In 5 years, I imagine that the electric bikes are probably going to be faster, I'll bet, than the street
We'll
bikes.
see.
I think they will be.
Is that a Five Guys bet I hear?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
All right.
You can't remember anything for 5 years. What do I care?
You're right. That's all.
Right. All right. I said 5 years, not 5 guys. I said 5 years, not 5 guys.
All right.
Okay.
5 years worth of 5 guys.
Now, here's the big point to me that really impressed me. They maintain those speeds over. It's a very long course. That is a long course, and they did it on a single charge. They didn't pull over and charge at all.
So they did that over what? What's that? Like 20 miles?
I mean, that's a big deal.
They had solar cells strapped to their helmets.
No, they didn't. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, because the consumption rate on these electric motorcycles just goes up exponentially as you ride faster.
Right. And the hotter it is.
So that's pretty impressive because it's not like I'm sure they carried some sort of extended battery packs on them, but they can't carry too much because it's a weight issue. So.
Well, and then swapping them out while they're going 100 miles an hour might be a problem.
Yeah, that might be a problem too. So I mean, clearly there's been the technology is moving ahead. The technology is moving ahead, and the ability well, that's a great course to get some. What do they call that? Reciprocal. What do they call that when you get the inertial braking? The inertial braking, Regenerative braking. Yeah. I mean, that's a great course because there's a number of places in that course where you have to brake pretty hard. and you get some significant recharging. And maybe that's how they do it. Maybe they're getting very good at recovering a lot of power from braking. So, anyways, that was the story. So I thought that was a pretty impressive story. And go America!
Hooray! I have a American story that even trumps that.
Okay.
For the racing segment.
Well, let's save it for the racing.
I'm going to save it for the racing segment. All right, hooray America! Hooray victory! Boo electric motorcycles. Am I done?
Yeah, I think you're done. All right, so I think what we'll do
before we go out,
What?
Next Monday, the 15th, is Ride Your Motorcycle to Work Day.
Okay.
That's the official worldwide day to ride your motorcycle to work.
This is actually Monday is the official be chauffeured around by Phil Day.
Yes, that is the official day of Monday. Monday is the sucking gas and hauling ass from Birmingham back so that we can be able to do the show Tuesday.
Right. So.
But yeah, so you're gonna ride. Which one of your bikes? Are you gonna come home at lunch and switch bikes?
No. I'll probably take the big blue and ride it.
The big,
which
blue.
I rode to the studio today.
Very good.
Is that the one that was over on its side in the parking lot?
No, don't even start with that.
Well, it was standing straight up till I kicked it, so we're good. I was like, I remember he's saying something about parking spaces.
I'll choke you out.
I'm telling you, somebody gets punched in the face today on the show.
Well, we had motocross racing going on this week.
Who cares?
At Muddy Creek. Muddy Creek.
Thunder Valley.
No,
Muddy Creek.
Muddy
Tennessee,
Creek.
I'm sorry.
They were at Muddy Creek.
The big the music's on, but what was the biggest news in motorcycle racing this week? What was the biggest happening?
X Games.
Yep.
Okay,
We're going to talk about the X Games.
All right, we're going to talk about that. All right. We're going to talk about the X Games, and we're going to talk about World Superbike
and PJ Jacobsen.
Portimao and PJ Jacobsen. So stick around, folks. A lot more coming your way. We'll be right back.
And we're back here on the DawgHouse on ntnradio.com. Before we get into the racing segment, we have to do an obligatory mention. Right? Is it the word obligatory?
I think that's actually pretty good, Phil. Yeah, I think obligatory would be the right term to use.
We have started, and since we've been doing the DawgHouse for how many years? Over 6 years now.
Yeah.
We've asked you guys to do a whole bunch of things, and you've done absolutely nothing. So in the spirit of you doing nothing...
Wait. That's not fair, Phil. They have done absolutely nothing because they're listening to doing something just close to nothing.
All right, as close to nothing as you can do
guess.
Without actually doing nothing.
So we're asking once again.
We're asking, there's a company called PodTrack, and them guys are going to help us manage our stats and stuff. It's a stat company for podcasts. Mm-hmm. And they'll do our stats, but we have to put their survey up on the website. So on the DawgHouse page, on ntnradio.com is a survey, and please
I have to
go do that. I know you just ignored me.
I have to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I have to interrupt. It's not actually a survey just for them. It's actually a survey about our listenership. It gives us information.
Right, it gives us information.
So we get to find out how many of our listeners are
human.
How many, where they're located, and
what the women look like. No.
I mean, it's just it's all kinds of good kind of census data for us.
Yes,
but PodTrack requires that we do this because they want to see as well where our listeners are, and
And we kind of do too. It's been a while since we've done
It's important because when they want to eliminate the really ignorant people in the world, the first place they're going to start is our listenership.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, we just want a list of people we think would be cool to hang out with during the zombie apocalypse.
That's exactly right.
Since Ken has so graciously reminded me that there are no ancient aliens.
That's right.
So I hate you, Ken.
Well, but the good thing is now he's going to be in the wheelchair. And he's going to be in front of a racetrack.
Yeah, I'm going to have fun with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be like golf cart, Ken, look out!
Yeah.
And give him a shove.
Yeah.
That was like 3D.
You know what? I'm going to be practicing that break a lot.
Yeah, you're going to be practicing the break a lot.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's on the DawgHouse page with all the episodes and stuff. If you have a couple minutes, please go and take that. And if you don't do it, I don't expect you to do it because you guys never do anything we ask.
Well, see, that's the thing with surveys and this kind of stuff is I have to do a survey because I run a lot of events in my job. And at the end of every event, I put up a survey to find out how well the event occurred. And usually there's 150 to 200 people at every one of these events.
And you get 4?
I usually average about 12.
Yeah. Now times that amount of people you have by 1,000, and we'll get 4.
Right.
Because and 3 of them will be us. Durkin won't even fill it out. He doesn't even.
that's for sure. He will
Shaka's,
do it.
it's right up near the top of the page. Just click.
Impress me.
Prove
me wrong.
There's a little button there that says "Click here." To do the survey.
I'm sure
We
there's a
appreciate
place
it.
in the survey that can say Phil's a jerk.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into racing news. We did that. Are we good?
Oh, I think we covered it.
I think we covered it. And thank you to those guys for helping us track our statistics better. Speaking of motorcycle racing news, motorcycle racing in the last 25, maybe 30 years happened this Thursday night.
Okay, I'm interested in hearing this because I'm not aware of it.
You didn't watch it?
Tell him, Warren.
X Games Flat Track.
Was on ESPN.
Live.
The real. Not the Deuce, not the Ocho, not the Cinco de Mayo, none of that. It was on ESPN. They had the prelims,
Live.
and then they had the finals live. Now, it was the worst conditioned flat track thing I've ever seen. I've seen motocross tracks with less whoops.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it was a pretty
the
rough
rain
track.
just screwed them all up over there, and it was not flat. Matter of fact, Jared Mees was on his way to the first ever X Games gold medal in flat track, and his chain fell off because that's how rough the track was.
Wow.
And Brian Smith won, took the gold, but it was on ESPN. I mean, that was the last lap. Poor Jared Mees. It was like going.
It was what is even maybe half a lap.
Yeah,
Was left.
it was horrible. But it was on ESPN live. That's huge.
And it was interesting the way they started the final too, with the drop gate, just like they do with motocross, instead of starting out straight.
Yeah, I didn't
I'd never seen that
understand
before, but it was different. It was nice.
But this is just it's not that it's becoming a regular part of the X Games. This was a
No, it is. It is
it
now
is?
a part of the X Games. They will have it next year.
Oh,
That was the first ever flat track X Games, so it will be there until they decide to either change it or whatever.
Well, and they do that to all the events. You know, some events will come, some events
yeah.
go.
The events come and go. all the
Now they
time.
had another motorcycle related event.
Well,
this
they have a
past
bunch
week
of them.
This past week as well, and they did the half pipe on motorcycles.
Yeah, but they also did the high jump on like dirt bikes.
Yeah.
On like
well, they do that. They've always
yeah.
always had freestyle as part of the X Games.
Yeah, right. But this was the actual. This was an actual flat track race. It was, I believe, a 3/8 mile or 5/8 mile. 3/8 mile. It was under a half mile.
I think 3/8.
Yeah, it was under a half mile, but it was just you could see the moisture. Like the guys couldn't get it. If you tried to put the bike sideways, it was so wet underneath the soft dirt they threw down. You were just gaining traction. I mean, Brad the Bullet Baker had a couple tank slappers that were just out of this world.
Yeah.
You know, because they were just catching. He even tried to go way to the outside of the track, you know, where all the crap is.
Right.
And it still was. You still caught too much traction.
Yeah, you need to have a hard surface for flat track to work.
Yeah, but it was on ESPN. That's huge.
Okay, that's cool.
Primetime TV. It was what 8:30, 9 o'clock start.
It was a good time.
I
for
wish
people to
somebody
watch.
had reminded me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ken. I thought you knew
I
how to
am
work a
old.
remote control.
Well, if you go to
No.
set your DVR to motorcycle
Well,
and
that's
just
what I could
record
have done.
everything.
Actually, I do have a thing, a motorcycle.
you
and it did not
Ken
record
probably
it.
doesn't get ESPN on his crappy TV.
Oh yeah,
I think
He
actually
doesn't get
it's-
anything else.
He doesn't get any of the sports
Right, he doesn't get
packages.
no sports
I
channel. He
think
gets like
actually
Lifetime,
ESPN is free to
Oprah,
everybody.
and OWN.
Well, you probably get
I think
ESPN
ESPN
headlines.
is free to everybody. No, ESPN's free to everybody.
He does. Durka doesn't get it.
You don't get it? Yeah,
No,
you get it.
Durka had him remove it because they're bad mouthing Tom Brady. He was like Tom Brady didn't cheat, take ESPN off my TV, you scumbags. But I thought that's the hugest thing that I've seen for motorcycle racing.
More people probably watch that than any other racing this
but
weekend.
you said for American in motorcycling.
For American motorcycle
Yeah,
racing.
I'm going to totally disagree with
What
that.
has
but
been
anyway.
bigger in the last couple of years
Oh,
for
I
American
can-
motorcycle racing?
Well, and you said in the last 25 years. What you said
25
before.
years. Give me something.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe Nikki Hayden winning MotoGP
Did
World
anybody
Championship.
get to watch that on ESPN?
Ben Spies winning a World Championship.
Did we
World
get to
Superbike.
watch that on ESPN?
Yeah, actually, we did get to see one of them on ESPN.
Which one was on? It had to be Nikki Hayden because it wasn't Ben Spies.
Oh well, I mean, it would have been on. Oh, well, it was
It was on
probably on Speed.
You're right. That's not ESPN.
Yeah, who cares? Why is
ESPN has
important?
half the world watches ESPN 24 hours a day.
And the X Games is
I
one of
think
their
half
biggest
the-
things.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say more people watch that X Games flat track in that one evening than will watch flat track the rest of the year.
Oh, then we'll watch any form of
be-
two-wheel motorcycle
yes,
racing.
because where is flat track normally on TV?
It's not.
It's not.
Right.
But not
That's
that.
why.
I don't even care about flat track. More people are going to watch that than watch. More people watch that than watch MotoGP on Saturdays, on Sundays, or whatever.
Not globally.
Not globally. In America. America.
Okay.
I don't care about the rest of the world right now.
Well,
I don't care about the rest of the world tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me. I just thought America.
Okay, well, I kind of thought the whole idea was to get seen by as many people as possible.
No, in America.
Okay.
We need look in Britain. They show British Superbike races. They have motorcycle racing on TV. Nobody tells them motorcycle racing isn't a sport. But here you get CBS. CBS flat out told that jerk over there, that guy over there. See him? Well, I'm trying to smack his head. Ken, that motorcycle racing isn't a sport.
Right.
Right? You know, ESPN doesn't cover it. In America, this is huge. It was on ESPN.
Okay. I guess I just don't see it, but whatever.
Jerker's very happy about it.
Apparently he's very happy about it.
I called him Jerker for a reason.
You called him Jerka.
Because he is very happy about it. But anyways, I just thought that was huge. That was on ESPN. That's huge.
Okay.
Huge.
All right.
Speaking of flat track racing, America, huge. Right?
Okay.
My camera has changed positions 3 times when
Because
you
I'm
pound
banging
your
the
hand.
table.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. They just announced that there's going to be a U.S. version of the Super Prestigio
Okay.
in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And not only are they going to invite the Super Prestigio, for
I was
those
going to say,
of you
what
who
it
don't
is?
know,
What is that? Because I don't know what that one is.
people like Warren.
It's an event that Marc Marquez resuscitated. It used to be years ago. They
right.
ran it, and he resuscitated. It runs in Barcelona once a year.
Right, and it's pretty much they take the best flat track racers in the world and the best road racers in the world, put them on a flat track and let them go at it.
Yeah, it was mainly flat trackers for the most part. There were
Mainly,
only a few road racers
right.
were in it.
So this year, for the one in the U.S.,
Yeah.
they're actually going to also invite Supercross guys and Motocross guys and stuff like that. So there'll be a ton of people there. Besides, so we might be able to see how awesome would it be to see JD Beach beating
Skip Bayless?
Skip Bayless and his brother. No,
what about Cool Breath?
Cool Breeze.
Yeah, Cool Breeze.
But JD Beach could put a whooping on Ryan Dungey, Ryan Vilp.
I don't think he'd have any problem with that.
Right? Maybe even Brad the Bullet Baker and Josh Hayes.
Well, maybe
I'd even invite Karen Stover.
JD Beach.
Bring it!
JD Beach has raced with those guys before. So.
I know JD Beach. That is my odds-on pick, and this week when we see him at Barber, I'm telling him he's my odds-on pick to win the U.S. Super Prestigio. You heard it here first on the DawgHouse.
Yeah, well, right.
Is that what it's going to be called? The U.S. Super
They're going to call it the Super Prestigio.
Is it official or is it just being
It's
talked
official.
about? When's it going to be?
In like October. Don't ask me. I'll have the
Okay,
dates
never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. You're asking. Look, never. If I don't give a date, don't ask. Damn it, you know better.
Dirk is pointing at his watch. That means,
I don't care. Jerker, you can take that watch, turn it sideways, and shove it up your New England behind.
1 hour show.
1 hour show is going to an hour and a half because Ken came back after the half hour talking about stuff that was irrelevant. No one gives a damn about electric motorcycles.
Oh, God.
Here we go. World Superbike was in Portimao this week.
Portugal.
Portimao, Portugal.
Yeah, Portimao,
Right?
Portugal.
I'm an American. I love America. Red, white, and blue. America.
Right.
Hashtag America. So, I'm watching the World Superbike race, World Supersport race, because that's the only American we have racing
Anywhere
in the world.
Yep.
Not true.
Nicky Hayden rides around in 8th
I
place.
seem to remember somebody that we interviewed on this show that was Mr. Uribe. Who is
Okay,
over
all right,
there.
that's
He's
on-
racing on the world scene.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, no, he's racing on the British scene. Is Britain the whole world? Well, the sun never sets on them.
That's right. The sun never sets on it, and it is outside the United
So
States.
they're like in Alaska.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
But here we go. PJ Jacobson, the team he was on, which was the Intermoto Pony Express Kawasaki, folded.
Yep.
Kawasaki said, no more money.
Right in the middle of the season.
Right in the middle of the
Well,
season.
was
The
it
dude's running third in points.
Wait a minute, was it Kawasaki pulled the plug, or
Well,
was
Kawasaki pulled the plug.
It wasn't Intermoto.
Nope, Kawasaki pulled the plug.
Wow. What did they state a reason? Because he was. I mean, like you
He's
said,
third in points.
third in points. That's not bad.
They're still mad about the whole World War II thing. They are just bitter about it. That's how we get hate mail, right? You're right,
Yep,
Ken.
that's how we get hate mail.
That's how we get reported on
It's
iTunes.
Phil at NTN.
Phil at ntnradio.com. So PJ took over, and things go full circle in the racing world.
Uh-huh.
PJ took over Rathapart Willerot's World Supersport ride, which is the Core Motorsports Honda. And he ran. This all happened on like Wednesday of last week.
Yeah, right.
And he was running, and he for a little while he led. He was pretty good. He ate up the tires pretty good because all of a sudden he just got to a point he dropped back. But he was on the Core Motorsports Honda. I think it's a good fit. He looked really fast. He's got to learn to manage the tires on it and work with it a little bit.
Very different bike.
Very different bike,
Yeah.
but I think it was a good fit. He was fast on it. He was competing.
Well, he was holding Rhea for quite a while in the first moto. I mean, he went, 10, 11 laps before Rhea finally just went around him?
That's a Supersport.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. I'm not sure where that...
Okay,
He's
I thought we were talking about that.
We're talking about Supersport.
Supersport, not Superbike.
Okay.
Gino Rhea, nobody holds Gino
No.
Rhea back because you can't get behind him because there's no room left in the markers. That was wrong. But
Oh,
That is wrong, and that
yeah.
is his brother.
that is his brother. I know. But he changed teams. Good. I'm glad he got another
I was
ride.
going to ask you, where did Rathapark Willerot go?
He went back to Britain to race. He's been racing in the British series.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been racing British
Well,
Supersport.
I thought his brother, Rathapong Willerot.
Mm-hmm. Ping pong.
Love those people. You gotta love them.
You do.
You gotta love them. I thought he had a ride too
I don't know.
in Supersport. You sure you didn't take Rathapong Willerot's ride?
It said Rathapart Willerot.
Okay. All right.
You're doing it just to mess
It's the
with
one.
him, aren't
He
you,
took
Ken?
the one that won the tie round.
Yeah. Okay.
Ragapart.
Yeah.
How
Well,
do you say?
that's good.
Whichever Willerot won.
Okay. So,
He's got a winning. He's on
okay,
a good bike,
go-
which made me happy because he's on a good bike.
well, go PJ.
Go PJ.
I mean, if it's a bike that eats its tires and it's not him, it's just going to be what it is.
Yeah, but this bike won a couple rounds ago.
Oh.
And I'm also a little bitter that you got an American running World Supersport and you don't have World Supersport at Laguna Seca.
I know.
Screw you, World Superbike. That's just wrong.
That's because it's a budget. It's supposed to be their budget series.
Yeah, I know, but that's just wrong. They can find financing or something. Or he can come over and run by himself.
Apparently not. When Kawasaki's pulling out.
That's actually true. That kind of hurt.
And Kawasaki never said anything about why they did it. Just
Because
pulled the plug.
their release actually said, "Screw you, and you're beating our ass and what we're doing." I don't know that I didn't see why. It just said they pulled. Companies don't like coming out and saying, "Oh, we're losing money on this." That's just the way racing is. People pull their sponsorships all the time. But that's what I read. That Kawasaki pulled out.
They probably were given it. Well, they've got, wait a minute. So was he the only one that was affected? Because he's not the only Kawasaki out there.
No, his other teammate on the Intermoto, Kawasaki broke their relationships with the Intermoto Pony Express.
Okay, so maybe there's more to the story than that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Right. It might not be that they're losing money. Yeah, well.
Oh, maybe that's not what happened.
Too soon.
Yeah, that's dirty. So anyways, we might as well finish talking World Superbike instead of and go back to Pro Motocross.
Mm-hmm.
So World Superbike, like I said, the big boys were also there in Portimao too, and Sykes looked good, but again, it looked like he ran out of tires, and he ran out of
no, he didn't.
ran out of bike.
No, actually, he didn't. Okay, well, first thing was that he had a cursed weekend.
He did.
And it's not very often that happens. He was extremely fast.
Yeah.
And it was in no part, not affected by Johnny Rea wrecking during qualifying. Very quickly in qualifying, so that he ended up starting in the third row, middle of the third row.
Eighth place.
Yeah.
Middle of the third row. And but then he gets up and completely carves him up. But it's clear that the two bikes out there that are just better than the rest of the bikes out there are the Kawasaki's, and that doesn't surprise me.
And the first race, I guess running out of tires isn't the right thing. Is when it's raining and everybody else goes in for tires. You probably should too.
He did the right thing.
I think it was a brilliant move on his part That wasn't what the problem was, because he met them coming out, so it didn't cost him anything at all.
That was still he had to be on pins and needles. So
But he came out of the pits after finally changing his tires right in there with Rhea. But that wasn't what the problem was. The problem was he had an electronics problem where his revs were limited at 9,000 RPMs.
Yeah,
like half of what that bike will do.
Yeah,
you know. So
it was running well, and he was in the lead for most of the race.
Yeah, and all of a sudden,
but you can also tell that Rhea was just setting him up too. Because when it finally came around to
the point that happened, there was plenty of race left. But he still managed in that first race to keep second place.
Yeah, he got second place.
Which is pretty impressive. I mean, considering he had a bike that would only run at 9,000 RPM.
Yeah, well, it was rain. It was monsooning. And they were like, yeah, there was no forecast of rain. I'd punch. That's how the weatherman gets punched.
But they all had rain tires on at that point. But he just that was it. There was nothing he could do. So, race 2 was completely different. Race 2 was completely different. He actually had an actual physical problem. He actually had a damaged rim, and his tire went down. Yeah. How many people do you know who can put? I tell you what, this will never happen in four-wheel racing. Never happen that someone has a tire go down and will be able to stay out and finish the race. Yeah. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
I mean, they wouldn't even. It started raining. They started flying. Run away! Got a roof.
It is 10 times harder to control a motorcycle that has a rear tire go down than a car, by far.
I was going to say we could ask Josh Hayes next week, but that's okay. Getting punched in the face.
That's right. Yeah. So
as he rolls away.
Yeah. So
yeah, you ain't gonna be out
that killed him. So he dropped down and he finished what, 8th place?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing he could do. I mean, he was just trying to stay on the track.
But Ray, even with that, Ray, he got out front quick, and no one was going to catch him on the second race either.
You know.
He would have to wreck himself.
I don't know, but it's clear that Tom Sykes has come a long way from how he started the season. I don't think there's any question about that. He just had a weekend of bad luck, which for Johnny Rea came at the best possible time.
Right. Rea needed
absolutely that. best possible. No, because one guy that was charging on his points.
Right, and it was a momentum killer. Rea needed that because it was a momentum killer in Sykes. Because he had the double.
It was devastating.
Yeah, that was
the only thing he did. The only thing good that came out of that weekend for him was he scored decent points in the first race and mediocre, but at least decent.
He scored points in the second.
Yeah, he scored points in the second race. Is the most
important
thing.
Ray is 124 points ahead of him right now.
At the midway point.
Yeah.
Past the midway.
Well, midway point was race 2, right? The beginning of race 2 was the midway point.
Yeah,
so, it's his to lose. This is his championship to lose. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean X's Eli Tomac, it's possible to lose.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is motorcycle racing. It is possible to lose.
Exactly.
So you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch.
No, you definitely don't.
But you can scramble them.
Right.
So that's kind of they did testing there afterwards. We got Catalunya coming up next for MotoGP this weekend. You want me to do the pool standings?
Yeah, you might as well.
While we're here, we'll do Pro Motorsports. A ton of us had Rhea for the double.
Almost everybody. And those who didn't lost spots. But Hawkeye he actually stretched not Hawkeye, Olaf maintained his lead over Hawkeye's concept, but then stretched it over third place because Matt B did have Haslam in the second race. Right.
Because he was on crack or something. I don't know.
Right.
But, the rest of us pretty much pulled in and jump around. Ken, you did jump up, though.
How?
You passed Carl C. And Carl had
because of his
Sykes
defaults?
for the double. Oh, I'm sorry. And so I couldn't figure out what that was. I thought he wanted me to half step. I was like,
yeah.
Carl C. Had Sykes for the double because that was his default picks and stuff.
Right.
So you did move up a spot in the pool. Way to go, Ken. But that's why defaults are important. If you don't know what we're talking about the pool, then obviously you don't listen to the show well.
Right.
But you can jump in and be ready for next year and stuff like that, and let us know. We'll make sure you get in for next year. So that wraps up.
Or you use it for practice too.
Or you
the
use
rest
it for
of
practice.
this year.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the pool really hasn't changed all that much. Top 5, Olaf, Hawkeye, Matt, me, and Richard. Bottom 5 is Warren, Dave, Javier, Kristen. Carl, Warren, Dave, Javier, Kristen.
Well, I'm out of the bottom 5.
You're out of the bottom 5. I told you when you started out so crappy.
Yep.
Don't worry. The points will come.
I wasn't worried. I said it was early. I got half a season left in World Superbike.
Yep, half a season.
And more than half a season
More than
left.
half a season in MotoGP.
Yep.
So you're pretty good. You're looking like it's.
Except Olaf's going to need to have some bad luck.
Well, we can make that happen if you don't send us a British Superbike.
Yeah, I told you.
For every round of British Superbike you miss from now on, we're subtract for 25 points.
He's already missed 3 rounds, I think.
Yeah, I know. That puts him behind me.
Slacker.
You
got time to go out and ride your bicycle.
Hey, you have time to do things with your daughter.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on, seriously?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Go visit your parents? You know what?
That's right, yeah. Cut down on the Facebook post and do a Superbike report.
Right, cut down on the Facebook post and do a damn British Superbike report.
There you go.
Because I really miss him saying Shaky Burns.
Shaky Burns.
And then
and
the
Josh
other...
Brooks.
Josh Brooks. The other racing this weekend...
That's probably why he doesn't do it anymore. He's tired of being made fun of.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Especially by Americans who can't even speak the language. Right?
Yeah, right. We speak Americans. The other racing this weekend was Pro Motocross, which was in Tennessee, Tennessee National, where Martin again looked pretty good in the 250 class. Jeremy Martin is, I think, Jeremy Martin's the guy to beat. I really do. And I would, coming into the season, I would have said Marvin Musquin.
Yeah.
But he looks
Jeremy
good.
Martin is just really good outdoors, and it is a very different. It's very different racing outdoors.
Well, Muskin's less than 10 points behind him.
Yeah,
and he dominated the first race, winning by by almost 20 seconds.
Yeah,
and if he hadn't got,
which is considered not a long way. This the way the season's been going so far.
Yeah, so this year normally that's like whoa.
Well, I don't know. Now that Eli Tomac's out, it might actually be considered to be a good lead.
Oh no, because we'll get into that in the 450.
And then, but in the second race, he got pinched in real tight at the start.
Yeah,
and had to fight his way back up and still finish fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that they're pretty equal right now.
He had a good comeback, but I think Jeremy Martin is the class of the 250s in the outdoor right now. I didn't think I'm not saying I think he's going to run away with it, but I think he's got to be the odds-on favorite. I think he's the most talented guy.
He has a point lead right now.
Well, he's the points lead, and he's also, I think, the most talented guy out there on the 250s, and this is not his first go-round on the 250s.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think as the weeks have passed, Adam Cianciarola has been doing much better.
And when he doesn't screw himself up.
Right. And I think when he's completely healthy, he's the guy to beat.
Yeah, but
he's not completely healthy.
And when he's completely healthy, he's going to be too far back in the points to make a difference.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think Jeremy Martin's your guy right now. I just think he's the most talented guy out there. But I think
I think it's pretty even because again, Muskin in this race at the start he fell into 31 or 32 position. And then got all the way up to 4th.
I'll just say this: take my word for it. If it was a Supercross race, Musquin hands down. In a motocross race, it is a very different skill set, and I think Musquin's a very talented rider. But Jeremy Martin's got something else going for him that Musquin doesn't have. He's not French.
That is true. Okay. He has never surrendered.
Jeremy Martin is an American.
America.
Yeah.
America.
America. So.
In the 450s. Where it's the post Eli Tomac series.
But there's somebody else out there who's apparently feeling better these days.
You must be talking about Matt Lemoyne.
yeah.
That's exactly the only time we will talk about Matt Lemoyne on the DawgHouse.
That's right.
Just so that's there, unless he calls in, and then we will kiss his butt and pretend like
he's actually a German guy.
Ah, you must mean Cole Seeley?
No, that's not German.
Ryan Sipes.
No.
You're talking Ken Roczen. Ryan Dungey had the better weekend, arguably.
Again.
Ryan Dungey won the first race by 22 seconds? Or 32 seconds? It was over half a minute, I believe.
20 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah. 20 seconds. It's not like a big lead.
Yeah. And then Roczen did win the second.
And Roczen won the second.
But Ryan took the overall because he went 1 and 2, and Roczen was 3 and 1.
3 and 1.
And with Jason Anderson.
But you got to here's the thing. Roczen is just going to keep getting better as his health improves. So don't forget that. And his problem is Roczen's got a long way to go because of the points. Because we had a guy named Eli Tomac who was dominating the series right now. Dungey's got an advantage right now, but I think Roczen's going to get better.
Dungey's got 175 points, and Roczen's got 138.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, but that's
it's 40 points. That's a big difference.
And you're only eating away 3 between first and second.
Exactly.
It's not like
Yeah.
It's not like
You got to have.
Superbike
I
race
think-
live.
I think
He's going to
Dungy's
need Dungy. He's going to need Dungy to have
DNF
a
a couple
DNF,
times.
which is not
Which
outdoors is not
yeah,
impossible.
Outdoors
impossible.
is very possible.
Right, because you get caught up with other people who do stupid things.
Yeah,
when
and
you're
there are
outdoors.
Well, and that's
people.
what happened to Dungy in the second race. He got caught up
Yep.
with the lap riders
Yep.
and
Yep.
couldn't get
And
around.
that's what
a couple of
happens.
them.
That's what happens. I mean, and then Roxon had some problems with other riders too in the first race. So that's going to happen. But it's all a matter of how how you're able to pull it all together and win the race. But the fact is that Roxon is coming back from a very serious injury, and he's nowhere near 100%. I mean, when you win a pro motocross race, and you're not 100%, that tells you a lot about someone's skill level.
Yeah.
This guy is the defending champion, so
And what about the wreck Barsha had?
yeah,
That I cringed.
I know. Yep.
I saw that wreck that Barsha had, and I was like,
That looked worse than Tomac's wreck.
it did.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
the bike somersaulted right on top of him.
Yep.
But it was probably the beard and the thick head that helped him out.
Not to mention the fact that Barsha weighs about 320 pounds. So.
Yeah, Barsha is
He's a big-
Barsha
he's a
is
big boy.
You
He's a
but,
big boy.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I thought for sure, I was like, oh, Barsha's probably done too. But yeah, he shook it off like
Yeah. He
damn
took
ground getting in
it's
my
a
way.
flesh wound.
This ball scratch.
That's right.
But yeah, so next week, where are they next week? I wrote it down.
High Point,
High Point, yeah.
Mount Morris, Pennsylvania.
Yep, they'll
Yep.
be in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
They're going to be up there in Pennsylvania.
Good track too. I like that track.
Yeah, that is a fun track to watch. And we'll be watching it probably
From a
from the
hotel
media
room.
center at
Well,
Barber.
if they have it on at the media
We'll
center,
put it on the Wi-Fi.
Well, we can
Somebody's gotta
try.
we'll try.
we can
Why-
try.
Why not? Who cares?
It's late enough at night. I think we'll probably be in the hotel room
Yeah, that's true.
because I don't think it comes on until like 9 o'clock at night.
Now, somebody's going to have to massage Ken's toe while he's in the...
Hey,
That is
it's-
why Dirk is signed up
it's
to come on
already,
the track.
it's already been arranged, and I'm on the discount plan. That's all I can say.
and never mind. I almost said things to get us in more trouble. with
Birmingham
these.
hookers are a bargain.
Yes, Birmingham hookers are cheap.
Did you get yourself a handicap sticker so that you can
I
park
tried.
in, park in
I
the
printed
lot?
one
actually tried. We have one.
We allegedly printed one up.
Right.
But I guess that's it for motorcycle racing news. I covered the important things I wanted to cover about, which
Okay.
was PJ and the Super Prestigio
Okay.
and ESPN carbon flat track.
Yeah. So is that a signal to the producer?
That probably. And I'm not saying that yet. I just was wondering if there was anything else.
I
anybody wanted
don't
to
know.
add.
What do you think, Warren?
We alluded to Tomac's accident and putting him out for
Yeah.
the season. We didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, it
that's
came out
true.
after the show. It came out after
That's
the
true.
show.
It
that
did. It did. We
He
did.
was tore up.
Yeah, he's going to have that
separated
surgery on his
shoulder.
left shoulder,
And-
separated his right shoulder.
Yeah, and
did
I
something
think he's
to
having
his wrist
surgery
as
on
well.
both. I think
Okay,
he's
well,
going to
I
end up with surgery on both.
one.
And this was his championship too.
Yeah.
It was his to
That
lose,
sucks,
and,
though.
and he did.
Yep. Wow. Terrible way. That's a terrible way.
Yeah.
I know. I've been on the other side of it. I was having my best season ever until I came and had this dispute with a chain link fence and lost.
Can you call 10th place every week the best season
I
ever?
actually had three. I had 3 wins that year.
Ooh.
I had 3 wins for Iraq. So
Okay, Danica.
Oh. And on that note,
And
I
on
think
that
I'll
note-
take
we'll
Danica's
call that
money.
one.
I'll take her
Yeah, I'll
money.
take Danica's money.
Yeah.
Chris, punch us out of here. I guess we'll talk to you guys all next week.
Well, that's right. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.